Born and raised in San Antonio, Texas, Gary C. Kelly never thought he would become the CEO of Southwest Airlines. We previously learned in our wiki page about Gary's values, attitudes, behavior, and work ethic. His open and upbeat way of working created a more favorable work environment for all employees. In part 1, we learned that Kelly has a referent power that is based on his interpersonal relationships with his employees. In part 2, we will examine his decision-making process as well as his use of power and performance within the company.
Control, so let the beat unfold. Intro on drum.
In 2004, when I took the role of CEO at Southwest, I realized our company had gotten stuck in our way, too comfortable with our success. The company at the time was doing well at what it had always done, but was not ready for change. In October of 2007, at our annual meeting, I announced that Southwest Airlines would no longer offer assigned seating. That's right, I'll say it, no more cattle call. At the time, most Southwest employees assumed that the company would be adapting its assigned seating policies, rather than abolish them altogether. After a year of surveying customers and employees, we came to the results that 60% of customers wanted some form of open, less structured seating, while the 40% preferred more assigned seating. This decision was a breath of fresh air and exactly what the company needed at the time. Not many other large airlines also have adapted the open seating policy modeled after Southwest Airlines.
The elegant, poetic pestilence, I'm carbonated.
I've been a flight attendant for Southwest Airlines for 10 years, and at first when we changed policies from instead of assigned seating to open seating, I was extremely reluctant and thought it was going to be a mess. But to my surprise, from the decisions of Gary C. Kelly and the executive team, it has worked out phenomenal and contributed to our growing success. Mr. Kelly has made great life decisions and is a great CEO of the company while keeping his employees happy.
The rhythm is the reason you're checking for what we've done.
We at Southwest made a non-program decision. We solved a problem with a new and creative solution instead of making a routine and program decision. After all the research was done, Southwest Airlines used a Z model to come to an effective solution. By combining creativity and rationality has been a driving force in the decision-making process under my leadership.
My Planned Parent manuscripts withstand bullets, flashing like a...
Previously, decisions were handled by empowered individuals, until I realized one flaw. Different leaders in different departments were not communicating with one another. It's not that the individuals didn't want to speak with one another. We were all just busy and sometimes can easily get caught up in our own decisions rather than looking at things as a whole. Our marketing department addressed the issue of assigned seating first, and at the time, no other department was thinking along the same lines. Other departments were not engaged with one another. We realized we were not all on the same page, and not prepared to take a complete overhaul of policies. And that was a huge wake-up call, not only for myself, but for all of us at Southwest Airlines. We've always valued our people. We've always had a very special culture. The fact that we've been able to maintain this unique personality and culture and our efficiency and proficiency, we're still renowned as one of the great airline operators in terms of reliability and safety. From when we had 3 airplanes to now when we have 520 airplanes, I think is truly remarkable. I see myself as one of the most influential and powerful CEOs in the world. My style of leadership and the way that I run Southwest Airlines shows the amount of power that I have on a daily basis. Some would say that I have a sort of referent power, as it is mostly based on my interpersonal relationships with my employees. As many of you know, many of us at Southwest have a phenomenal relationship with one another. I like to give my employees a strong sense of empowerment and respect, and in turn, they are some of the most efficient and productive employees in the world. I also see myself as having a strong sense of social power, and I believe that I use my power to create motivation within Southwest Airlines. I like to think that my use of power is very effective in many different ways. The sense of respect and empowerment that I try to give my employees is enormous, and in turn, an enormous amount of productivity comes out of Southwest Airlines. I also use a great deal of influence tactics. 2 influence tactics that I like to use are rational persuasion and consultation. I use rational persuasion to show the employees at Southwest that my decisions are the most appropriate and effective in our organization. More so though, I am very keen on using consultation as an influential tactic, where I seek my employees' participation in decision making or planning how to implement a proposed policy, strategy, or change. Also, I see myself as a very political person. My political skills encourage me as I have the ability to get things done through the great interpersonal relationships with the employees at Southwest Airlines. By treating my employees with a great deal of respect, demonstrates that I am able to collaborate with others while utilizing my political skills.
Don't let money change ya.
Southwest started out as the original low-cost airlines. Keeping costs low in order to keep prices low has been Southwest's traditional financial strategy. Southwest changed the airline industry when they entered 39 years ago with their low prices. CEO Gary Kelly did not make any drastic changes to this strategy. However, over the years it has evolved. It is very important to interpret Southwest's financial results in context. The airline industry as a whole has suffered greatly over the past 5 years. Two of the major causes include high fuel prices and a slow economy. Southwest's strategy has begun receiving some heavy criticism from analysts over the past 5 years. Many view them as being outdated and sluggish. The company has responded with some strategic financial strategies. First and foremost, Southwest is taking a major risk by merging with AirTran. They hope that this will help them expand their overseas travels, which is also a major risk, being as entering into the overseas market requires a great deal of time and effort in order to get the necessary government licenses and come to agreements with their pilots over new contracts. Southwest is also making a very large investment in order to enlarge their fleet of Boeing 737 through 800 airplanes. The larger planes will facilitate their entry into the new international markets that require longer distances of travel. Furthermore, it is clear that Southwest is not your typical cost-cutting, cheap company. This is evidenced by the pay given to the employees. Southwest employees are paid better than any other airline employees. Despite these changes, Southwest still remains relatively inexpensive. They are still a low-cost carrier. However, it is no longer safe to assume that Southwest almost always has the cheapest fares as it once did. In order to evaluate the impact of these changes, I will take a look at some financial results. First, let's take a look at a graph of the market cap over the past 5 years. Market cap is a way to evaluate the overall value of the company. Stock price is the current price the stock is selling at per share. Stock price is a good indication of the market's perceived value of the company, or how much people are willing to pay for a share. Public companies have a duty to stockholders to work towards higher stock prices. Moving on to PE ratio. PE ratio is a tool used to analyze the market stock valuation by comparing price and earnings per share. A higher PE ratio tends to indicate more growth, while lower indicates less. Earnings per share is useful, being as it shows profits relative to the size of the company. Dividends are an indication of how a company is allocating its assets. While stockholders benefit from dividends, some would rather have the company reinvesting the money itself. Taking it to the point where he lost proper perspective. Started cutting off the people he came up with. Lastly, accounts payable is another useful tool, being as it is an indication of how much debt Southwest currently has. Southwest is clearly not without its problems. Stock price and market cap have taken big hits over the past 5 years. This has been a cause of concern for many investors. Furthermore, a PE ratio of 14.7 is far too low for comfort. However, as I mentioned earlier, many of these problems are caused by the market they are in and do not necessarily reflect poor financial decision making. Furthermore, Southwest appears to be gearing up for long-term growth. They are investing heavily in new planes, contracts, permits, etc. for intercontinental travel, and most notably, they have plans to merge with AirTran. As the CEO, it goes without saying that Gary Kelly plays a large role in these financial results. Having the attitude that it is the CEO's responsibility to adapt to the organization, not vice versa, it is no surprise that Southwest continued with the same basic financial strategy. However, he is willing to take risks and make changes when necessary. This strategy also aligns with his values. He puts a high value on employee happiness, and this is reflected in his financial strategy by the high pay of Southwest employees. One possible area of conflict would be with his honest, straightforward, sympathetic attitude. Southwest at times has been known to price cut, essentially using their low-cost strategy to intentionally run competitors out of business, similar to the Walmart practice that gave the retailer such a bad reputation. If accusations are true, this would be a bit of a contradiction. However, while there probably is some truth, Southwest has been active in denying such intentions. Furthermore, as explained, Southwest is in the process of updating their financial strategy. Therefore, any such complaints are becoming less and less relevant. Overall, Southwest, like just about every other airline, is in a tough position right now. However, they seem to have a very sound financial strategy, though it may be risky. Their future success may very well depend on the successfulness of the AirTran merger. This Southwest financial strategy analysis was brought to you by Will Scheid.
The work environment that Gary has created improves Southwest in many ways. As a group, we believe that Gary is an ideal leader who creates a positive work environment where all employees are happy to go to work. We think establishing a positive employee-employee relationship is crucial to team-based environments and successful leadership. The organization depends on each part working together collectively to be successful. When taking a leadership role, we all understand the importance of success. But what Gary has shown us is that his influential leadership, Southwest Airlines has become one of the most popular airlines throughout the United States today. Gary has paved the way for students like us to aspire to be in our future careers. I choose Southwest Airlines.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Yeah, I could use a dream or a genie or a wish to go back to a place much simpler than this. Cause after all the partying and smashing and crashing, and all the glitz and the glam and the fashion, and all the pandemonium and all the madness, there comes a time where you fade to the blackness. And when you're staring at that phone in your lap, and you hoping but them people never call you back. But that's just how the story unfolds. You get another hand soon after you fold. And when your plans unravel in the sand, what would you wish for if you had one chance? So airplane, sorry I'm late, I'm on my way.